Good morning, everyone. I wanted to go over all the information that I have gathered in Athena Brownfield's case. Athena was first reported missing on January 10th. It was around 2 p.m. when a postal carrier found Athena's sister wandering outside of her home in Surreal, Oklahoma. The postal carrier reported the incident and the Surreal Police Department responded. That was when it was discovered that Athena was missing. As you can see, Surreal is a very small town in Oklahoma. Very small. As soon as local police responded to that initial incident where they found Athena's 5-year-old sister, it appears that the entire town just pitched in right away to start searching for Athena. Before I get into the timeline for Athena, I think it's probably best to start with the who's who in this case because it's very complicated. Very complicated. It took me several days to figure out who was exactly who in relation to Athena. We'll start with Athena. She's a beautiful 4-year-old little girl who is living in Surreal, Oklahoma with her caregivers. Now, Athena's full bio sister, we're going to say A. Brownfield because I don't want to list minors' names or faces. Obviously, we will with Athena because she's the one that was missing. Athena's sister is 5 years old and she was also living at that home in Surreal with the caregivers. First, we'll get into the bio father because that section's kind of short. Athena's biological father is Wesley R. Brownfield. He also goes by the name Robert or Bob. Now, Wesley's mom is Penny Brownfield, and she's the one, if you watched the press conferences, she was the one that was speaking off to the side, but you couldn't see her face. And she later gave an interview that basically just said, we're here searching and we want answers. However, Athena's bio parents have not been in her life for several years. The bio dad, maybe not since she was 1 or so. Athena's bio mom is Jasmine, now Tucker. Jasmine has multiple last names. She's been married a couple different times and she was also adopted. So there are several different last names for Jasmine, but she was married in October to D. Tucker. I found no indication or proof that Athena ever met D. She might have, but I just couldn't find any evidence of that. But Jasmine and Dee were married in October of 2022. First, I'll start with Jasmine's adoptive parents, and it's Misty and Patrick F. Now, I say adoptive because I couldn't find proof that Patrick was her bio dad. He very well could be, but I do know that Jasmine was living with them for a certain amount of time. She also had a son during that time that she was with them. I don't know where that child is, but I was able to verify that information that she was there. She had a son. She called them her parents, but it doesn't appear to be biological. So that's why I went with adoptive parents. Jackie P is Jasmine's biological mother, and I'll come back to her in a second. Now, there's also an Adam G that has been posted on social media as being Jasmine's dad. He's not her biological dad. At one point, he was either married or in a relationship with Jackie, making him Jasmine's ex-stepdad. But he did seem to be very active in Athena and her sister's life. Going back to Jackie, that is Jasmine's biological mother. At first, I thought it might have been her sister based on their interactions on social media, but I finally found the proof through other relatives that it is, in fact, her biological mother. Now, a lot of people have speculated, and it first came out that Jasmine and Alyssa were sisters. They are not. They're cousins. And it took a lot of digging to link Jackie and Shelly M as sisters, but that is what they are. So who is Shelly M? She is Athena's other grandma. She's Alyssa Adams' biological mother. She was posting on social media in the very beginning of Athena's case, but unfortunately those comments were quickly removed and her Facebook shut down pretty tight. So then we have Alicia Adams. That is Athena's current caregiver is what they use. I don't like that the word has care in it because, as we'll find out, there was no care there, in my opinion. Alyssa is married to Ivan Adams, and we'll hear plenty about him later. They have 4 children together. Now, people are calling them the bio kids, and that's what I have on here. It wasn't until after I made this that I found the connection that the oldest one is actually from a previous marriage. But it appears, based on all of Alyssa's social media, that Ivan treated and cared for her as a bio child. So that's what we'll refer to them all as going forward, is the 4 bio kids. And then below, I have Bladen D. Now, he's not family. This is Alyssa's new boyfriend. And by new, I mean brand new. It appears they started dating on January 2nd, possibly. But it was very recent, although they had been friends on social media for quite some time. Now, when Athena's case first broke, you probably heard a timeline that was given, and it was repeated by multiple creators. It was repeated by the news. Well, maybe not the news. But anyway, I want you to erase that from your mind, and we're going to start fresh, okay? That was put out by a family members of Alyssa, so I wanted to do my own digging and figure out the timeline for myself based on evidence that I could find from law enforcement, the media, or even things that I could vet for myself. So we start on January 5th. Bladen posted on his Facebook a picture of Alyssa in a car. The caption on that said, "Get one that will drive 2 hours to take you to lunch." So we know that on January 5th, Bladen and Alyssa were together for some portion of the day. Then on January 6th, Alyssa posts multiple pics on Instagram of her and Bladen together. Now, anything with an asterisk next to it is something that I cannot confirm, but I do believe it to be factual. So keep that in mind going forward. There's a woman on Facebook. Her name is Kimberly Chambers. Now, she does have a personal relationship with Bladen. I was able to see the connections there, vet that out. She claims that she was with Alyssa and Bladen over the weekend, and she reported that they were in Lawton, Oklahoma on the 6th. On January 7th, Alyssa posts to Facebook and she tags Bladen and a location, and it was Warren Theaters in Moore, Oklahoma. Kimberly claims that they were still together on the 7th and that they were in Pauls Valley, Oklahoma in the morning, early afternoon, and in War Acres, Purcell, Oklahoma in the late afternoon. So on the maps, this is kind of the journey that was taken over those 2 days. Now, January 8th, I cannot confirm either of these claims, but based on multiple accounts of this on social media, I believe it to be true. Again, it's got the asterisks, take it with a grain of salt. There's a local that claimed that one of the bio kids stayed the previous night and Ivan picked that one up on January 8th. So January 8th is when I believe that Ivan left for Arizona. On January 9th, Bladen posted to Alyssa's Facebook, and he left this message that said, "Just want to tell you how much this weekend meant to me. Best weekend I've ever had. Just one of the many we will have together. Life's a rocky road, but we're going to get through this and build something we never thought possible. We got this, baby girl. Thank you for all you've done for me." Alyssa replied, "You're the best. Can't wait to build the best life with you." Now, Alyssa's mom replied with several emojis. I was unable to confirm where Alyssa was on the 9th, and it's alleged that Ivan was in Arizona. On January 10th at 2 p.m., a mail carrier found a 5-year-old girl wandering the road along near the corner of 3rd Street and Nebraska in Cyril, Oklahoma. It's been reported, but unconfirmed, that the 5-year-old girl said that she was hungry and she couldn't find her sister. The mail carrier called 911 and the Cyril Police Department responded. Sometime after 2 p.m., the search for 4-year-old Athena Brownfield begins. She was initially reported as being 3 years old and autistic, but that was later determined to be inaccurate. She's just shy and quiet, and we know she's 4 years old. Shortly afterwards, a command post was established at the Family Life Church in Cyril. At 9 p.m., the Cyril Police Department requests the assistance of the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Cyril Police, OSBI, Caddo County Sheriff's Office, Oklahoma Highway Patrol, and locals assist throughout the night in searching for Athena. Searchers did report that Alyssa shows up to the search sometime in the evening hours. At 2:15 a.m. on January 11th, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol flies a helicopter with thermal cameras and asks for community members to stay inside as they do so. At 9 a.m., they hold their first media briefing. No new information was given. They did ask the community to search their properties and to turn in any surveillance cameras to the command post. Updates that the search continues with multiple agencies responding. A grid search begins with those numerous agencies, as well as volunteer search and rescue organizations with search and rescue dogs. OHP also uses their helicopters again in the search that morning. Later that morning, community members gather to pray at the Family Life Church in Surreal. Around mid-morning, a search warrant is executed inside and outside Athena's home. That afternoon, they hold another media briefing. OSBI confirms that Athena is 4 years old, 3 foot tall, 45 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a pink butterfly sweater and pink pants. OSBI reports on the search warrant, confirms the time Athena's sister was found, and confirms she is not autistic, just shy. They ask residents to search their own properties and to bring any security cameras to the command post. No confirmation on who has guardianship of Athena at this time. Confirms Athena's sister was currently in DHS custody and did not need medical care when she was found. OSBI also confirmed that numerous clues have been found across town during the search, and they are hopeful the items will help with the investigation. On January 11th at 4 p.m., the grid search concludes, and volunteers are released as the whole town was searched. Later that day, the Oklahoma Department of Corrections bring in additional search dogs, and the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs fly drones over the community. Law enforcement continued to conduct interviews and research surveillance footage in an effort to locate Athena. Later that evening, the search moves to a criminal investigation. On January 12th, OSBI announces that there will be no morning briefing. At 9:58 a.m., Surreal halts all trash pickup until cleared by OSBI. At 4:12 p.m., Alyssa Adams is arrested and charged with 2 counts of child neglect. At 5:20 that afternoon, OSBI holds a media briefing. They confirm that Athena and her sister were in the care of Alyssa and Ivan. They also confirm that Alyssa was arrested. At 9:30 p.m., the white Yukon XL was towed from the Adams home. We also learned that at some point in that day, law enforcement began searching a property the Adams previously rented in Rush Springs, Oklahoma. They ended up searching there for 2 days. It was unconfirmed at the time that I made this timeline on if anything was found in that search. We also later learned that sometime that day, Ivan Adams was taken into custody in Phoenix, Arizona. His initial charge is reported as fugitive fleeing from justice. On January 13th at 10:30 a.m., OSBI announces Ivan's arrest in Arizona. His warrant states his charge as first-degree murder and child neglect. His bail is $1 million. Media reports that water utilities were being shut off at the home on Nebraska Avenue. Later that morning, Ivan Adams appears in court waiving his extradition rights. On January 14th at 11:30 a.m., OSBI is spotted searching a reservoir in Grande County. Locals report to media that Ivan has a connection to the reservoir. Allegedly, it's a place he likes to go fishing. This reservoir is completely separate from the Rush Springs property that they were previously searching. At 2:00 p.m., OSBI confirms to media that the search is related to Athena's case. Then at 4 p.m., the search at the reservoir is concluded and it's unclear if anything was found. At 8 p.m., the community holds a candlelit vigil for Athena in front of City Hall. On January 16th, the search is updated to a recovery mission per OSBI. On January 17th, Alyssa appears before a judge. She is charged with 2 counts of felony neglect. Bail is set at $500,000. The DA comments that the charges could be upgraded or more charges could be added. And then later that evening, around 5 p.m. I think, remains of a small child were recovered in Grande County. While unconfirmed at the moment, they are believed to be those of Athena Brownfield. When Ivan was seen in court, his arrest warrant affidavit was released, and this is what it states. On January 10th, 2023, 5-year-old AA. I want to note that it says AA, not AB. So I don't know if Athena and her sister were under a guardianship with the Adams, or if this is just what law enforcement put in the affidavit. So it says 5-year-old AA was located wandering near her residence at 225 West Nebraska Avenue, Cyril, Caddo County, Oklahoma, by the mail person. Turner called the local police and Cyril Police Chief Garrett Rainey responded. AA was forensically interviewed and disclosed she had been home alone and she is tired of being alone. Rainey received a call from one of the caretakers of AA. Alyssa Adams, who asked where AA's 4-year-old sister, Athena, was located. At that moment, it was learned that Athena was missing. So the rumors of AA telling the mail carrier aren't correct. Law enforcement learned of it when Alyssa called in. AA reported that she called Alyssa mom and Allie and called Alyssa's husband Ivan Adams dad and Uncle Ivan. Athena and AA's biological mother, Jasmine Brownfield, left AA and Athena in the care of Alyssa and Ivan approximately 1.5 to 2 years earlier. Alyssa and Ivan never took AA and Athena to the doctor for checkups and did not enroll AA into school. Review of phone records for Alyssa and Ivan did not match with what they reported to Flores. So that sentence right there tells me Alyssa and Ivan gave some statements, and it didn't match what they had told law enforcement. On December 26th, 2022, between 4:15 and 5:30, Ivan's phone records show his phone leaving 225 West Nebraska and traveling to near Rush Springs, Oklahoma. Alyssa and Ivan had a previous residence located in the Rush Springs, Oklahoma area. On January 12th, 2023, Flores re-interviewed Alyssa and read her the Miranda warning, to which she waived. Alyssa confessed that on December 25th, 2022, around midnight that night, Ivan beat Athena and held her up by her arms. Now, I know this is just Alyssa's account and we don't know Ivan's at this time, but that's confusing to me. Beat her and then held her up by her arms? I don't know. Ugh. Athena was not moving and her eyes were barely open. He then laid her on the ground and punched her at least 3 more times in her chest. Athena never moved after that. This occurred at their residence on 225 West Nebraska. Ivan then left around 1 a.m. on December 26, 2022 with Athena. When he arrived back, he told Alyssa that he buried her near a fence line that was next to the old residence in Rush Springs. He informed her he placed a large broken branch over the burial site. So not only is the holding her up by her arms portion confusing to me, there's also the statement that he left at 1 o'clock, but then we read previously that his phone left the residence at 4:15. So there's a 3-hour time gap there. Again, these are Alyssa's statements at this time, and we don't know Ivan's, but to me, it makes it sound like she was there. And if she's present and knows all this information, then she witnessed her husband murder the child that she was in care of and didn't inform law enforcement, didn't do anything. And in fact, she went on living her life in an almost frivolous manner. This is Alyssa's Instagram starting on December 25th. She's posting as if life is normal and her husband didn't just murder her niece or someone she viewed as a daughter. Then on December 30th, on New Year's Eve, they all go out together. Her and Ivan go out and celebrate New Year's Eve. Allegedly, her mom watched the children, so did her mom not ask where Athena was? Ivan also posts on his Facebook a fun picture from New Year's Eve. How can you post stuff like that if Athena was murdered just 5 days prior? Just 5 days prior. And then on the 6th, she posts pictures with Bladen. So between New Year's Eve and 6 days after that, she's with another man? A new boyfriend? I don't know, guys. There's a lot of speculation on social media right now. People are sharing pictures of the bio kids with bruises on them. I've seen them. You can go look for them yourself. I refuse to post innocent minors who are just bystanders in this right now. But they do have bruises on them. And I don't know if that's just from normal kids, normal, rough and tumble kiddos, or if it's something more. There's people who are dissecting her TikToks and her Instagrams, and you can see bruises on her knuckles. I don't know if there are really bruises there or not. I feel like a lot more is going to come out with this case. I don't know if we'll have to wait for, Ivan to be in court back here in Oklahoma, or if things will start coming out before that or not. But I feel like something else happened besides what Alyssa stated in that affidavit. Now, I'm not saying that he's innocent. I don't know that I believe that either. But I just feel like Athena didn't die the way that they are saying she died. I just wanted to update you all with the information that's available at this time. I'll continue to keep an eye on her case and update if there is more stuff that comes out that we can verify or confirm. Continue to pray for Athena's siblings. They range in age from 5 up to 11, I believe. And It's going to be extremely hard for them. Not only did they lose a sister, but both of their parents are in jail right now. So that's traumatizing as well. They are innocent bystanders in all of this. So please keep them in your prayers or send positive thoughts. Whatever it is that you choose to do, please do that for them. So even though we don't know exactly what happened, and right now we only have Alyssa's side of the story, they have both of them arrested. So I do believe that law enforcement is going to get to the bottom of it. It's going to be carried out in our judicial system. And I do truly believe that we will get justice for Athena.